the Trump administration has found the leader of Antifa. The Antifa leader in Portland, Oregon, has officially been identified by the Trump administration, or at least they think. Turns out it's actually just a guy who lets protesters come in and use the bathroom in the place that he's renting. But the administration is telling us, according to investigative journalist Ken Klippenstein, this guy is the leader of Antifa. It's a guy by the name of Chandler Patey, or Patey, sorry, a 29-year-old. He's in South Portland. He lives near a nice facility there. He lets protesters use his bathroom. And according to an internal Department of Homeland Security document that Klippenstein reviewed, the administration is describing him as, quote, the leader of Antifa. Antifa. I feel like Antifa is better than Antifa. Republicans are the ones who started Antifa. And so using that, I feel, is like using their words, but whatever. Klippenstein reported, quote, the government's elevation of an ordinary citizen like Patey to terrorist mastermind is the result of subtle bureaucratic process revealed in this and other DHS documents that I've obtained. They show that since almost the beginning of the Trump administration, Homeland Security has been desperate to pull together evidence, no matter how thin, of an epidemic of left-wing domestic terrorism. This kind of idiocy is hardly unprecedented by the standards of cable news, of course, but the federal government is buying into the hysteria too. Documents leaked to me show Patey and countless other American protesters have been branded as domestic terrorists. As a result, their private information is now being collected and stored in a DHS intelligence system that he shows in the article. So as funny as it is, it's also absolutely devastating for the future of the country. Because these individuals, Patey, however you pronounce that again, I'm sorry, is labeled a domestic terrorist according to the United States government. For protesting. Not for being violent. Not for showing up at protests with a firearm. Not for setting things on fire. For protesting, for exercising his First Amendment right. And of course, for allowing people to come in and use his bathroom. That'll get you labeled a terrorist by this administration. Exercising your constitutional rights and letting people pee in your toilet. Yep, that's all it takes to be a terrorist these days. Which, of course, is why that phrase has lost all meaning. Domestic terrorists. They're domestic terrorists. Alex Preddy, they said, was a domestic terrorist. Renee Good was a domestic terrorist. I'm willing to bet the files that this administration has go far beyond even people who've shown up to protest. It would not shock me to find out they have files on me. In fact, this is a story I've told a couple times because it's something that's always going to stick with me. In the Obama administration, Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, right? I was writing for an environmental group at the time as one of my many side jobs I had. And a friend of mine on Christmas Day, 10, 15 years ago at this point, emails me a document that she had just got in a FOIA request and was like, hey, by the way, I thought you'd want to know, they're talking about this article you wrote and talking about you in these State Department emails. Yeah, that was a weird Christmas present. Certainly unpleasant to know that even all the way back then, and a guy I voted for, his administration was, I guess, kind of keeping tabs on me. And if our friends were doing it, then holy hell, I can't imagine what Donald Trump has on us now. Perhaps Klippenstein could get to the bottom of that, because if anybody could, it's him. I've said this before, and I will continue to say it. Klippenstein is the best in the business. He's absolutely the best. And of course, something I love too, he's very witty, and I like that.